III?
See that armor? No wonder he destroyed those cultists in Alcarnus so easily.
I can't believe anyone could have survived that out there, let alone defeat those monsters.
I know, but he did it.
Attention, subjects of Emperor Hakan II. A trespasser has been sighted in the city sewers. Witnesses describe the suspect as a young woman in a crimson tunic. Reports indicate that she arrived in Caldeum recently, along with a party of suspicious travelers. Any information leading to her immediate capture will be handsomely rewarded by His Eminence.
I find all sorts of things down in the aqueducts. I like the shiny ones the best.
Understandable.
From the sculpted sky roads leading to the Imperial Palace, one can see all of breathtaking Caldeum below.
Breathtaking. Before the gates closed, I saw 3 rats and a starving child fighting over half an apple.
It pleases you to exaggerate, I'm sure.
No, it pleases me to pass out drunk in the shade. But here we are.
I wouldn't go over there if I were you. Some poor fellow fell to his death from the walls.
Is there no one to help us?
My little Hakan has become so cruel, so paranoid in the last few weeks. I hear that he has ordered all of his staff to leave the city, or he will have them thrown from the walls. He cannot possibly mean me. I have cared for him since he was an infant.
And he thrown from the wall. That's fucking disgusting.
To come so close to this wondrous city.
Not content to reign supreme in commerce and religion, the Trade Consortium Council aspired to make Caldeum a nexus of learning as well. It proposed to unite the mage academies in a massive new structure, the Ashari Sanctum, which has remained a beacon of knowledge and advancement ever since. The Trade Consortium Council has always been the ruling body of Caldeum, but it gained additional strength after the fall of the Vigerai. The councilmen saw opportunity in the rapidly growing Zakarum faith, and they allowed the fanatics.
The Zakarum are behind everything that's going wrong around here. They raised the Emperor, you know.
Caldeum relies on trade to survive. If they keep the city closed for long, it will die.
It's quite difficult to keep the sand out of here. You haven't been out in the desert recently, have you?
Why don't you come see Tilna? Many of my pieces come straight from the Emperor's own collection. Very valuable. But Tilna knows you can afford it.
Captain Ravan, the conditions out here are deplorable. Something must be done to aid these people.
I will faint dead away if I stand in this heat a moment longer.
Ashira, the Emperor is in danger. I need to speak with him.
I heard what you did at Qasim Outpost in Alcarnus. You have my thanks, and you shall have my help. Captain Ravan, this man has vital information regarding the massacre in the Borderlands. We must see the Emperor at once.
Very well, but I don't think you'll find him receptive. Let them pass!
There must have been some mistake.
Let's go. I'll lead you to the palace.
You are bold to have sought this audience with me. My guards tell me you were responsible for the massacre of innocent villagers in Alcarnus.
Your guards lied.
If you are innocent, then why do you have spies skulking through my sewers? Bring her in!
Let me go!
I detest violence. Guards, I leave this matter in your hands.
There you are!
me.
You are quite the optimist.
Get out of here. I will cover your escape.
Thank you. Now we need to get to the sewers. I'll explain why when we get there. Our way. We must destroy their summoning construct. There has to be a way into the sewers from here. This leads to the sewers. I found my mother, Adria. She's alive. But the Imperial Guard is holding her somewhere down here.
We must reach her.
So Magda was telling the truth. Somehow I knew my mother was alive. Always knew it.
But there is still a reason she never reunited with you.
That would be really good right now, but
I felt no fear.
When I joined the Coven, it was weak and idle. The leaders were content to do nothing, while the prime evils were imprisoned. I convinced another witch to help me poison them, and together we took control. She left some years later, but I continued, bringing the Coven to glory under Lord Belial.
so the girl left, huh?
The Accursed were created when a necrotic plague spread through Kyrgyzstan centuries ago. The infected watched in terror as their flesh blackened and died. The strongest medicines could not stop the decay. Eventually, they fell into a dormant state, and their bodies were piled up in dark and forgotten places where they could rest undisturbed.
We camp, lying in wait.
Diablo was the youngest.
Another sunset, and Alcarnus is still safe from this
I felt no fear when...
Attention, subjects of
My little Hakan has become so cruel.
You're too kind.
My exemplary servants. Keep the witch alive until she talks. Pain will loose her tongue, but only to a point. Remember what happened with the Vizier's assistant? It was a pleasurable time, I admit. But the man had only incoherent babble and bloody strands of pus spilling from his lips by the end.
World can abide you no longer.
I cannot do that.
Do.
Adria should be up here.
Tell us about the Black Soul Stone! We know of the 3 that the Horadrim used to trap the Primevals. What is the purpose of this one?
Your master Belial has good reason to fear it.
Leave her alone!
Seize them!
Leah, my daughter.
You know who I am?
My darling, I've watched over you all your life, but I never dared get close because of the danger that always shadows me.
Speaking of which, let's get moving.
Well,
What happened to your brother?
Nothing you'd want to hear.
I have heard a lot. I could probably help.
And then what? I suppose you'll make it all right. You'll fix it up just like another one of your little errands. Some things aren't that easy.
I will respect your privacy.
God, you're so noble about it too. Spare me. They will run when they see us.
Your mind is always wandering.
It is merely the consequence of seeing that which is not readily visible. I have accepted it.
Being unusual has its strengths.
Then you have my thanks. Although, perhaps you are right. I feel as though part of me still sleeps in a faraway realm.
It could be the lingering effect of the spell.
That would be nice. But the feeling I have indicates that it is more unpleasant and complicated than that. I welcome the chance to travel with you.
Those you've chosen to fight alongside you are an interesting bunch. Children after my own heart, flawed in such interesting ways. Irena, you are quite vivacious for one with such a burden. Cormac has certainly noticed. Oh, don't pretend you haven't seen him looking at you. He'd best keep his vows in mind. Or maybe he shouldn't. And that Lyndon, he makes me laugh. He can warm my bed any night. Reminds me of my second husband, he does.
Hey, mister, I got some new things. You should take a look.
I heard that you were there 20 years ago when Mount Eriad was destroyed.
Baal, the Lord of Destruction, sought to enslave mankind to the power of hell by corrupting the sacred World Stone. Unthinkable though it was, I was forced to destroy it.
But there were consequences.
Understand, friend, that entire worlds burned as heaven and hell fought over the World Stone. Eriad's destruction was regrettable. And, believe me, I paid a high cost as well.
Guessing the other
What
angels being
happened
dicks.
when you destroyed the World Stone?
The resultant explosion dispersed the light and harmony of my angelic being. Without form or shape, I restored myself within the realm of pandemonium. It took me 20 of your years, but finally, I returned home to the high heavens.
Did your brethren understand?
Hardly. Believing my actions had endangered creation, the Angiras Council put me, the Archangel of Justice, on trial. I knew then that heaven was doomed, unless I could enlist the aid of mankind against the coming onslaught of hell.
I'm surprised Cain never told you why I left. He knew I was called to fight the Lords of Hell, and I knew he would keep you safe.
He's gone now.
then it's fate that we have been reunited. Kane's work, your work, is my war.
According to the Herodric texts, only 2 evils remain. Belial is here in Chaldeum, and Azmodan has yet to reveal himself.
Hey, we reached level 30! Take that! There's a fucking skeleton going over there. We'll try that out. Ooh, let's see what the... Ow! Jesus Christ. Okay, that's fun.
Leah still adores you, even though you left her.
What? No, I never saw it that way. She grew up in safety, while I risked my life to find the key to our salvation. It was the sacrifice that I had to make. In any case, Leah will meet her full potential under my guidance. Do you not have things to do?
That is a lot different. I remember the talks with her being like, kind of like, okay, yeah, there's something weird about you. But here, he's way more judgy. And meaning she's way more defensive.
How well did you know Kane?
For a time, during the darkening of Tristram, we spent many nights in the Tavern of the Rising Sun, discussing his Herodric texts and the varied arcana I'd collected during my travels.
Did you meet again?
Only from afar. From time to time, our paths would cross, and I would catch glimpses of Leah as she grew. It broke my heart that I could not reveal myself and raise her as my own.
How did the guards capture you?
I was trying to steal out of the city. I'd returned to gather some things before setting out to recover Zoltan Kuhl's head, and the guards found me.
The guards were asking you about this Black Soul Stone. I remember reading about it in Uncle's journal, but it didn't seem important.
No, but it is. It is the key to defeating evil forever. It was created by the mage Zoltan Kuhl to trap demonic souls.
Yes, he was a renegade Herodrim, dismembered by his brethren before he could activate the Soul Stone. His head was sealed away in the Dulgar Oasis.
We must retrieve it. Because if we're to use the Soul Stone to defeat Belial and Azmodan, Zoltan Kuhl must live again.
I have a new ally. The witch, Adria. She believes that the Black Soul Stone will allow us to defeat the Lords of Hell. But this remains to be seen.
He's way more okay. I've played Hunter a lot. Like I've played Hunter like the most out of all the characters. I have like at least a good Hunter.
Murderer,
or a good
torturer,
okay.
Monster. These were the titles bestowed upon Zoltan Kuhl by the Herodrim. Though it cost them dearly, they killed the wizard for his crimes against nature and sealed his broken corpse within a shadow realm. It seems they were afraid he might return.
Alright, so basically basically Hunter's story, from everything I've done with Hunter, is a lot more calm, collected. Like he's not super judgy of her or whatever. He was, well, this one, fucking, he is way more judgy, and he clearly knows way more than anybody else. Out of all the other characters, from what I've seen, he's done way more, and that's really cool.
How did you rescue your wife?
I broke her out in the middle of the night and we escaped. They didn't chase us far. I guess they were glad to see her go.
You did not fear her, even given the accusations.
She wasn't a witch. She was a mystic. Though we didn't find that out for a time. Not until we started traveling with the Vetchin wagon train. But that's a story for another time.
Zoltan Kuhl, a legend. There is no doubt in my mind he is as powerful as the stories say. But for every bit of his genius, he was surely mad. He was obsessed with immortality and power.
A madman.
We would do better to leave him asleep in the desert than to call on him for aid.
You have a better idea.
I do not. It is merely a warning.
She is way more okay. I forgot how how much, like, you can clearly tell she is, like, not listening to
After
anyone.
what I've heard of him, I'd prefer not to become involved with this Zoltan Kuhl.
It will be dangerous, but you have faced great peril before. If Belial and Azmodan invade, you will have much more to worry about than a dismembered wizard.
I don't like dealing with Kuhl any better than you do, but I see no other way. If Adria says we must, then we must. Uncle Deckard trusted her, and so will I.
300 years ago, I selected Kuhl and 6 others to form the Horadrim. He was a great man who was driven mad by his long quest to hunt evil.
He is not the first. What did he do?
He delved into powers not meant for man, trying to fashion an artifact that could fill his empty heart with the souls of angels and demons. The Horadrim had no choice but to slay him. The Order never recovered.
So another story of a man driven to insanity. Well, anyways, I'll see you in the next episode.